Hello, everybody. It's Rick Ruby. Welcome to this week's episode of the Street Smart Millionaire. I want to tell you a story about a guy that I know really well. And he's a billionaire. He's the richest or second richest man that I've ever known. This is my second billionaire that I've spent really good time with. And I went out and spent 2 days with him. And I went to his house and we smoked cigars. And he built a man cave. I'm a man cave and he really liked it. So he built a man cave, 3 stories. Next to his house, in his main car garage. Gosh, he's got a Chevelle SS. He's got 3 or 4 Ferraris in his main garage. He's got matching Rolls Royces. He's got a Ghost and he's got an SUV. And his house and his garages are meticulous. And I went downstairs and saw his gym. And it's the best gym I've ever seen in life. And his house is great. I mean, the property is manicured. I mean, at a really high level. He's super shredded physically. He's always in a good mood. He's very, very driven. So we go to the game. We go to a basketball game, and his seats are on the floor. And we stop and have an appetizer, and he has a martini, and he has a little fancy appetizer. Then we go to the game, and we have the free food that comes with the game. I just had a great time. And then I go to his office the next day, and I spend about 5 hours looking around, having meetings with his executives. Let me tell you some things I learned. You want to be big, you got to think big. You got to think bigger than you're currently thinking. That whatever you have, you can do better. Now, I'm going to tell you something. For me, I would like more in life, but what I have is enough. So I want you to know. I want you to enjoy your position and shoot for a better position, whether it's in your relationship, in your body, in your business, in your leads, in your team, in your P&L. Like, he's one of the few people that I've ever been around that inspired me to do better. Like, normally I spend my life inspiring people to do better. And, one of his executives asked if I was a preacher because I was talking about faith. And here's what I will tell you. Faith is believing in something you don't understand. So I have faith that Jesus is the Lord. I have faith that all mankind is internally good and the world makes all mankind bad. I know that I'm working on sinning less in my life and being a better person and a better leader and a better coach. Here's what I'll tell you about my time with him. He inspires me to do better. And I hope that I inspire people to do better. But the difference between me and him, I know I can teach you how to do better. So let's talk about getting better. Let's talk about business. His business, my business. I'm in the mortgage business. I'm in the coaching business. He's in the mortgage business. You're in the restaurant business. You're a plumber. You're a hardscaper. You're in the production business. Whatever you're at. Number one, you need a steady flow of warm leads. My marketing that I put out, like, just so you know, we had 100,000 people, 122,000 people look at our stuff in a week. I have a big following. I have a lot of lenders and realtors that follow me. I know I'm the number 1 mortgage coach in the nation. I know I'm in the top 2 or 3 in the real estate business. I know I'm the top lender coach. Nobody has created more millionaires than me. Now listen, I've had 767 people make $1 million under my authority that didn't make $1 million till they met me. I'm not saying I'm the only reason they made $1 million. They did the work. They sacrificed their lives. They climbed the mountain. They got it done. But I was part of it. I gave them a recipe and I gave them accountability. So if you're doing over 15 million in real estate and lending, do yourself a favor, spend $5,000, go online to thecoretraining.com, talk to one of my trainers or one of my salespeople, sign up, come to San Antonio, Texas, May 14th, 15th, and 16th. We'll spend 3 days. I will blow you away. If you want to see white glove service, come spend a couple days with me. Our food is spectacular. Our resort is spectacular. Our teachers are great. Our classes are great. Our handouts are great. Everything I do white glove. Now listen, I just spent 2 days with a billionaire. Everything was white glove. Everything he did for me, the way he took care of me. When we had lunch, the burger that he got was a better burger than I could have had. Everything was white glove. He literally took great care of me, and I'm thrilled to be with him in life, both as his consultant and as his employee. I have dual roles with him. And I will tell you, he does so many things well. His team is so dialed in. His operations, his office is so organized. And I'm super organized. And I came back thinking, I've got to do everything better. I'm just telling you, wow, he plays at such a high level. It inspired me to do better. I hope there are times like if you're ever around me or you see me in the event or you watch me work or you talk to me on the phone. Like I was just talking to a client about how to work VIPs and she just wasn't getting it. She wasn't enthusiastic. She wasn't like driven to take care of me. Listen, I'm telling you this. If you want to be better, serve more people. Like I want to serve him. I want to help him be a better person, help him make more money, help him do better in the stock market. I want to serve him. I want to serve all of you. I want to teach you how to make a lot of money. I want to teach you how to take great care of people. I want to teach you how to make it white glove so you can get paid a really high level. Now, do you need matching Rolls Royces in the garage? Nope, but you need a better car than you have. You need a better house than you have. You need a better business than you have. You need a better team than you have. So when I was working with this client just now, and we were working on our VIP program, let me explain to you. I just called my VIPs. These are people that I care about. So I said, hey, I've interviewed Patrick Conway. I had just called Patrick Conway. Patrick, I want you to know how important to me you are. I love having you in my business. I love having you on my team. What's going on in your business that I can help you with? He says, well, I'm having a hard time following up on my leads. I said, listen, schedule a half hour twice a day just to follow up on leads. He said, oh, that's a great idea. Thank you. Now listen, when somebody says wow or thank you to me, that triggers me. ETR, close. That triggers me to close. I say, Patrick, I need your help. I know you've got me 5 summit signups. I want you to go out and find me 3 more before it closes. He's no problem, boss. I'll be glad to do it. And then I said, Patrick, how's your personal life? I know he was struggling with his girlfriend and they had broken up. And she said that she's coming around again. And I'm like, well, honestly, the way you talk to her was inappropriate. So if you're going to talk to her and explode on her, that's not appropriate. Now, I have exploded on my wife and I hate it. And I'm telling you, I'm super committed to not exploding on anybody. But I will tell you this, people aggravate me. People don't do their job well. And when they don't do their job well, I hit them. And then when they argue about it, I hit them harder. And then when they defend and deflect, boom, I hit them really hard. But hopefully it's at the level of mad. Like for me emotionally, I want to stay mad and glad. I do not want to get angry. And I want you to know I never get sad. I want you to know. I lost a son. I got sad for a couple hours. I lost my dad. I never got sad. I'm just telling you, I lost my aunt who was very close to me. I didn't get sad. It's probably a bad thing about me that I'm not like that. But here's what I will tell you. When somebody dies, I hope they know Jesus or God and go to heaven. I look back on their life and I try to find fond memories of what I cared about for them. And I hope they're in a better place and at peace. That's how I feel about people when they die. But I will tell you, this lady that I was talking to earlier, tell you a story. I live on a farm, 75 acres, and I live in a really big house on the lake. And we live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the farm, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the lake. I know my wife doesn't love it. I know she'd rather live at the farm. So my farm is 75 acres. It's a 1,700 square foot farmhouse that I gutted and remodeled. It's just beautiful, cute as a button. I know she'd like to live there because unlike me, my wife doesn't need material things. My wife is a very content person in life. I probably need more stuff than she does. I don't need like the greatest stuff in the world, but I need really nice stuff to feel successful. So I feel really successful when I pull up to a big house. So I pull up to the farm. I'm at peace there. I love it. I love the land. I love the animals. So I want to live on a farm. And I don't want to tear the house down and build a bigger house. So I'm thinking I'll buy a better farm. So I called a couple local realtors and I said, hey, I'm looking for a better farm. Would you like to find me a farm? Okay, no follow-up. So one of my employees calls me about a farm that goes up for sale. 750 acres. It's an hour away, but it's 750 acres. Now I live on 75 acres. So I was thinking like 150 acres. And this farm is super duper expensive. I mean like gigantic amount. I literally considered it. I called the listing agent, says, hey, I want to talk to you about this farm, leave a message. He doesn't call me back. I call him again. I get him on the phone. So he's the listing agent on the farm. The farm is for sale for just an atrocious amount of money. Imagine a farm is worth $20,000 an acre. So 750 acres, the land alone is worth $15 million. So I call him, we're talking. He says, he's got a beautiful house, 3,000 square feet. I said, I'd like 7,000 to 10,000 square feet. I need a big house. There's not a lot of barns. I could build new barns. A lot of the land is not developed. It's an hour away. I'm like, I don't think the house is big enough. I think the land is great, but I think the house isn't big enough, and the hour drive kind of concerns me. Now, I will tell you, he could have said, you could obviously build a bigger house. You could build onto that house. But the guy, I said, thank you. And the guy said, okay, and hung up. He did not ask me, could I find you a bigger farm closer to Charlotte? Could I help you find your dream home? No, listen, I live in a Great Lake house and have a really nice farm. If you sold those two properties, it's a giant amount of money. It would be a whole year for most good realtors. And I've told two local realtors to find me a farm, and they've not been bugging me and inundating me with listings. I'm just telling you, people are not driven to succeed. So listen, I'm always looking for an opportunity to serve more people in the mortgage business and the coaching business. Listen, if you're in the mortgage and real estate business, I will serve you. I will make sure you make money. I will beat on you until you get paid a high amount of money. Imagine 767 millionaires created. I have a plumber that's one of my best friends. My pastor came to me about, 7 years ago, and he said, Rick, do you want to serve the church? I said, yes. I asked if he wanted me to be a greeter. He laughed. He said, no, Rick, I don't want you to be. Can you imagine me at the front door? Why you got flip-flops on in church? Where's your stinking Bible? How can you come to church without a Bible? So he obviously doesn't want me as a greeter with my personality. So he's like, Rick, if I gave you some local business owners, could you take them and teach them how to make more money? So they gave up on church. I said, yes. So I started with 10 guys. Literally, the list went down to 5. So I got 5 business owners who show up every month, twice a month. I work on their P&L. I work on their business. I got a plumber named Damien. I'll bring him on the podcast. He had been a plumber for 15 years. He made about 230 grand. Last year, he netted $2 million. As a plumber, netted $2 million. After all business expenses, netted $2 million. He's one of the best business stories I've ever seen. One of the best guys I've ever known. And he has learned one facet of getting wealthy. Identify and go get the perfect client. For me, the perfect client in the coaching business is a $20 million producer that wants to get to 50 or 100 million. That's my perfect client. So if you're at 20 million and you think you're pretty good, don't call me. If you're at 20 million, you think you suck and you want to get to 50 or 100 million, you call me and we will talk about how I can get you there. That's my perfect client. Damien has understand that the perfect client is a property manager that has 1,000 properties. So we made a list of 45. He went out, he called them, he saw them and wined and dined them, got him presents, and he landed 17 property managers. He has about 40,000 properties under management that he manages the plumbing. That's how he made so much money. He first got the warm leads. That's secret number 1. You got to generate a big flow of warm leads from the perfect client. The perfect client for me is $20 million producers. The perfect client for him is property managers. Number 2, you got to build your team accordingly. He's hired a bunch of plumbers. He's hired a bunch of plumber apprentices. He's bought a bunch of trucks. He's bought a bunch of equipment. So for me, I got to hire a bunch of coaches. I got to hire a bunch of concierge. I got to have social media people. I got to have CRM people. I have all HR people, finance people. I have all these people to work for my coaching company. And I look at a bunch of my competitors. They don't have the leads and they definitely don't have the infrastructure. If you don't have the infrastructure to be able to take care of the clients, you're not going to keep the clients. And then do you manage the finances properly? So it's leads, team, money. Those are the 3 things it takes to be wealthy. Leads, team, money. It's simple. It's not complicated. It's, do I have enough leads? Do I have a good enough team? Am I managing the money properly? I happen to be a P&L expert, and I happen to be a personal budgeting guy. I'm crazy about personal budgeting, and I'm a big investor in the stock market, and I'm a big giver to charities. So that's how I look at money. Do I do a tight P&L? Do I do a tight personal budget? Do I invest well? And am I generous financially? Do I give a lot of money away? Those are 4 things I look at when I'm looking at money. When I look at leads, like you got to have at least 50 sources of lead generating sources, 50 different areas where you get business. And I guarantee you, if you're around somebody that's wealthy, I am. If you're around somebody that's balanced, I am. I've been married 22 years. I have 2 children that are excellent. Both of my children are excellent because they hold down jobs. They have no debt. They raise good kids. They honor and love God, and all 4 of them are in good shape. My son-in-laws are in good shape. My daughters are in good shape. So I've raised good children. I honor God with Everything I do, I sin and I screw up, but I'm really working hard to be a better person. I run a really good business. I have lots of hobbies. I have lots of friends. I have really good balance. I'm super happily married to my wife, Britt. I work at the farm. I drive cars. I play poker. I work out. So I feel I'm very balanced. So I feel like I'm a good teacher if you want to learn how to be wealthy and you want to learn how to be balanced. Like I gave Patrick a lot of advice today about his girlfriend. I think they should get back together, but I think he should put her on a pedestal, and I think he should take his time. Patrick is like me. He wants everything right now. I'm sure a lot of you want everything right now. Well, listen, I'm 64 years old, and I'm wealthy now, and I probably have only been wealthy in the last 5 years, so I probably didn't get what I considered wealthy. I think wealthy is like, if you're over 20 million between equity and equities, between equity and property and equities in the stock market, I think 20 million net worth is wealthy with no debt. I have no debt and I'm over that. So I think that's wealthy. So I think that then it's different levels of wealth. Obviously, my friend and the guy I spend time with is a billionaire. That's the extreme wealth. Just so you know, there's about 6,000 billionaires in America. When it comes to the next level, that's people that have over 100 million between equity and equities. There's 25,000 people that are at that level where they have over 100 million. There's 2 million decamillionaires that are worth $10 million. And then, so just so you know, as you reach these levels of 1 million, multiple million, 10 million, 100 million, and a billion. Now listen, I've done really well. I've saved really well. I've accumulated a lot of wealth. And I will tell you this, if you're with me and you're in the core or you're following me, I will make sure you're doing well. If you're in the core and you're not doing well, you call me and I'll help you do well, because you don't have enough warm leads. You don't have the proper team, or you don't have the proper money management. Now let's talk about living within your means. I told you before some lessons from my dad. My dad taught me to work hard. He always worked 60, 70, 80 hours a week. My dad was super organized. I told you about the garage with the rack, pulled down the box, one box at a time, put the box back. And I told you that he lived below his means. He owned his house free and clear for 90 grand. He had 70 grand in the bank, no debt, 2 free and clear cars, and he made $9 an hour. So I will tell you this. I live way below my means. I have no debt, no car loans, no mortgages, no lines of credit. I have no debt. If I can't buy it out of excess cash flow, I don't buy it. I do use a line of credit when I buy something. Like if I bought a new farm, I would use a line of credit and I would pay it off out of my cash flow. Like after I took some meetings, I was done about 2:30, and I went to the airport early, and I wrote some scripts for my salespeople. I wrote some modules for my training company and sat in the airport for 2 hours and did probably 5 pages of work. So just so you know, whether I'm at the airport working or I'm on a plane working or I'm here working with you, I'm either working or I'm enjoying my life. Now, when I'm not working, it's funny. My wife had a talk with me last Wednesday. She said, I want you to know, I know you're working really hard. I'm building my business up. I was down last year. I'm up 29% year to date in the coaching business. I'm up 14% year to date in the mortgage business. You need to know exactly where you're at compared to last year. So take a last year running total of each month, what you made, and then where you're at this year, and do a running total of your comparison year to date. Very important. So I'm up in both my businesses. She says, you're working really hard, and I want to let you know, from 7 to 10, which is my time with her, my phone is off and I'm focused on our wife. She said, you're doing great. You're very present with me from 7 to 10. You've not been edgy. You've not been snarky. You've not been a little rude. I can be all those things when I'm overworked and tired. She says, you've been doing really well. She says, but on the weekend, you're a little lethargic. Now, my wife is a woman on a mission. She never, ever, rarely is she not doing something. Always on the go, always moving, always brags about her, 15 million steps a day on her little app or watch that she carries, always watching her steps, and so many. And so it's on the weekends, I'm a little lethargic. I sleep in, I have coffee, I smoke a cigar, I relax, I putz around with the farm, I feed some animals. Saturday, I normally work on the cars and I do a little farm work. And then Sunday, I don't do anything but just go to church and talk to my wife and have breakfast and feed the animals. So she says she's been a little lethargic. So Saturday, I got up 9 o'clock, had coffee, scrubbed down the whole workshop the week before I did the barn, cleaned out the whole workshop, pulled some weeds. I was just gung-ho working. And I just want you to know, my final thought today, who you seek approval of and who you seek counsel of determines your outcome in life. So just so you know, my boss, Ron, my mentor, Roy, my wife, Britt, I seek their approval and I seek their guidance. Everybody else, I'm normally in charge. I'm normally like the leader or the teacher or the boss. Like I like these roles. I like teacher, coach, mentor, boss. I like any or all four of those relationships. So if you want to be with me and you want to surrender to my authority and let me be the boss, I will make sure that you grow financially, spiritually, and personally. I will make sure that you grow. You will get in better shape. You will make more money. You will do a better job investing your money and handling your money. And I will help you be all you can be. This is what I focus on in my life is I look at my mission is other people's money. I look at my vision is 400 people at one time that make $1 million in my program. I look at my purpose, create disciples, create millionaires, and teach life balance. I think you need to be clear on your mission, your vision, and your purpose if you want to really accomplish something. So listen, I appreciate you following the Street Smart Millionaire. We're up to like over 20,000 people a week watching it. I'm glad you're watching it. Next week, we got some great interviews coming up. So twice a month, I interview wealthy people. Twice a month, I talk about what I think is a thing of money. So I appreciate you following me very much. Remember, May 14th, 15th, and 16th, we got the summit. If you do 20 million, you should come. I will get you to 50 to 100 million. I promise. It's what I do for a living. Have a great time. Rick Ruby, Street Smart Millionaire, over and out.